Hello, everyone. It has been a while since I've got on here, and I finally got to edit. Sorry that the camera is so shaky. Um, I'm literally too lazy to set up anything right now, and it's also late, and I have to work tomorrow morning. But I finally got a video edited from this past weekend, and not this Saturday and today's Sunday, but last weekend. I live in the East Coast, the Southeast, and we were supposed to get hit with like a very, with the snowstorm, blizzard, whatever. And yeah, we got some of that, but it was mostly ice. Um, and it was like all stuck in the ground, and it's still kind of stuck. A lot of like neighborhood areas. And so I went out to the Smoky Mountains to, of course, just kind of like get away from the city and everything. And we didn't really experience much snow out there, but once we got back down here around like midweek, maybe, can't remember what day it was. Anyway, there's a movie in the background, so if you hear like screaming and stuff like that, it's just a movie. um but yeah, we got back and everything, and everything was iced out here. And this weekend we got more snow. We got so much more snow, and it's like more like lighter snow, so it was really nice. But yeah, I have been going insane, you guys. Like, I have so many things to update you guys with. Like, I swear, if you watched my must haves or like whatever video, look, I'm being honest with you. You know what I mean? When I first bought the fresh cream set, the fresh hydration rose set, the some of the products were too heavy for my face, so I started to like break out. And it was really nice to like get my makeup on and everything, but it was just not good. I was not able to go like barefaced for a while because I just had like these breakouts or whatever, and it was too thick for me. It was really weird because my skin is very, it's a combination, but it's also very dry. um I think it was just too thick for my face, or I don't know what it was. So I just stopped using it on my face, and instead I just use it like for my body now. I'll use it like on my feet, on my legs, and stuff like that. So you guys, I'm not using that anymore. I've actually moved on to a much better skincare routine. Right now, probably I don't look the best, but I feel pretty good. But yeah, so I have a new skincare routine, and yeah, I've been very busy, and I've been just like contemplating so much about life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when it comes to like dating guys, and just like so many different things, it's just, there's so much to learn constantly. And it's almost my birthday. My birthday is on the 11th of February. So, you know how it is. Like, for a lot of people, like, birthdays are like the most happiest thing in the world. But like, for me, like, they can be, and they are, but it's just such a sensitive time, that like I will like take myself out to like a spa or like to the gym like all day long and just do that for my birthday. And like I might like go out with my family to go eat, or I don't know, get invited somewhere for my birthday. um just something like that. But I don't know, it just feels so like bittersweet. Not because I'm getting older, like I don't even mind that. It's mostly just like the heaviness of the world that I feel. Oh my gosh. You know what I mean? But like, I feel like it can be a whole other video talking about like dating and interrelationships and stuff like that. But yeah, there's just so much going on in life. And I feel like being snowed in has really, hasn't drove me crazy, but being a like human being who is like, who has grown up with like so much consumerism and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, I rely so much on, come on guys, like Amazon. I have Amazon Prime, and I do so much shopping, like it's insane. I don't have other vices. And I'm not bashing on vices in any sort of way. Like, I am someone who completely understands, like, some people drink, um, some people smoke, some people do other things that I can't even think of, you know what I mean? But for me, it's when I'm really feeling the weight of everything, I love to shop. I love to shop. And it's not just any little thing I like to buy. I like to buy big things, and I don't know, just, and I haven't bought anything. The only thing that I bought during this like snowstorm for this these past 2 days was like groceries and things like that, which to me are like complete necessities. So I don't even think twice when I buy things like that, which makes me sound very it makes me feel there we go. It makes me feel very privileged to be able to do that, And yeah, it just makes me feel really thankful and very privileged, and I don't take that for granted. So, yeah. Um Also, like, I didn't even realize that tonight or like today is the full moon. I'm not sure if it was yesterday, but today's February 1st. So, it's the first of the month, and I started praying so much to the moon. Like, something came over me. I want to do a completely different video. I have like so many video ideas, but I just don't do them. But I used to be heavily, heavily into, and I'm still into astrology, like most girls, and some guys, but I used to be heavily into the cosmos and everything, and just how all of that affects you. And I have gotten to the point where if it's like a full moon or a new moon, I'm just like, I just brush it off. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, that's happening. Like, I'm not gonna expect anything to happen. I can expect maybe like one major thing to happen or some realizations to come through, but that's it. And I keep that in the back of my mind. You know what I mean? I don't make a big deal out of it. I don't go and make moon water anymore or charge my crystals like I used to, or my jewelry, because I used to do that. I used to do a lot of beautiful rituals, and they used to really help me. And at one point, I believe it was like 2022, after shit hit the fan with COVID, that is when everything went down the drain. So I stopped doing all of my rituals because the world was in like such a state of panic. And I stopped doing all the things that I love to do, my rituals, all of these beautiful things, and it threw me into a whole loop. Um, I stopped doing everything that I loved, and it made me feel so disconnected from my spirituality, to the point where I was like, being spiritual means nothing to me anymore. Like, it means absolutely nothing to me anymore. And if I saw someone being spiritual, talking about chakras, yoga, um, reaching higher levels of awareness, or taking things to escape, things of like that nature, I would just dismiss them. And I'm like, they're going through their whole like shebang, and then eventually they'll realize, like, this is not me being literal, but it's kind of showing you on a philosophical level where you reach, that saying where it's like advanced spirituality starter pack is like a coffee with like a cigarette after like doing all of the fancy schmancy stuff. Well, that's kind of what it feels like, and that might just be a very surface level that I reached. And I don't even want to say it's a level, because then that's also like my ego trying to like validate me, you know what I mean? Like, fuck off. But sometimes, like, you can't be taking yourself that seriously. Um, but of course, take yourself seriously, because you are waking up to yourself and going to sleep with yourself at the end of the day. And you are the one that is, maneuvering all of your interactions, and the one that is bringing everything about in your life. So that's really important. But anyway, I'm saying to be conscious and be self-aware, and where was I going with this? Who knows? But really, like being snowed in just like made me think about like, gosh, Natalie, like you're such a consumerist. Like, Lord, you know what I mean? Do you know what the first thing I did? Um, when like the snowy days were going to begin or whatever, I was like, oh, you know what? Amazon might not be doing any deliveries because of it, so let me go ahead and order a new skincare routine. And you betcha I did, and my skin got better. It's like almost like this, like what consumerism made me do, it's buy, and I normally don't do this, buy skincare stuff and try it out, and it ruins your skin, and then you're just like, I feel like I can do this. I'm like, okay, I know it is actually gonna work for my skin because it's worked before, and I know, I've done the research on what I need to do on the products I'm getting. So I did my research. I said, I've used these kind of things in the past, these kind of products. This is very good. This has been tested by this way, whatever. Got my products, put them on my face consistently for like the last 3 weeks, no, 4 weeks, and my skin is so much better. Like, I can go out in public with my regular face. I can put that stuff on and then put a little bit of makeup on, and I'm good to go. Um, it works for me. And just sticking to those simple things and doing your research goes such a long way. And it's not like going, and I don't want to use this term lightly, manically going into research something and wanting it to fit in anyway so that you can buy it, like a confirmation bias type thing, you know what I mean? Like when you're seeking, just like, when you're dating that guy, dating that girl, and it's like, oh, but this, oh, but that, oh, but they're a good girl, a good guy, like, they mean well, this, that, and the third. When you know damn well, like, you're just trying to make yourself feel better. Anyway, but yeah, um, so the only thing that happened that was not very good over this break was that, not even a break, I'm still working, but, um, the only thing that did happen was that, like, my phone fell, and for the first time in a lot of years, like my phone fell, and the graphics, like, on the screen, like, just became like, I have like these grid lines like right now on my screen, and I don't think it's visible to you guys, but it's visible to me, and it's really annoying, but it's not the biggest, that's not a problem in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, like, I don't know, guys. And I wonder if other people feel like I do. Like, when you think about the world, like, think about the world. You think about the good things, what are the good things that are happening? I try so hard to put myself in this mindset, like, around this time. I think it's like around 11:30 p.m. right now. I should be asleep, but what are like three good things that are happening? If I can't think of five things, I think of three good things, like, well, damn. You know what I mean? Sometimes your mind just goes blank like that. And, you can pull up like an online, you can go on a browser and be like, good news today, and then it's like, oh, look, these three beautiful things happen. Or, you go online and you scroll until you see like a cute baby, or like a baby horse, or I don't know, like a mom giving advice, or someone loving on themselves, someone being happy, someone getting married, someone, just any of these things, We can think about horrible things all day, and horrible things can be happening all the time. And, people saying that these horrible things will continue to happen. And it sucks to say, like, I can't control any of that. Humans are going to be humans. And there's so many different kind of humans around the world. And I will even go as far to say that a lot of people walking around are not actual human souls. They're other entities. I had I had I think I had like a minute where I was studying entities, and there's so much to learn. You know, I don't think I would ever be able to figure out how many entities there are in the world, but once you research entities, you know, you can look at a person that you're talking with, or you can later on, after having a genuine connection to them or interacting with them in a genuine way, because you also don't want to interact with someone and be that person that's like analyzing someone. You know, subconsciously you could be doing that, but like you don't want to go in there and be like, how can I use the 50 laws of power on this person? Like, come on, like, don't be that person. You know what I mean? That's so annoying. Like, I feel like personally, the way I handle things or like interactions, it's like I'll interact with you just like super chill, yeah, whatever, you know, like I'll listen to what you're saying, process it, and then like I'll respond, you know, according to your boundaries and my boundaries, you know, and yeah, just move on about our way. And then here's where like the esoteric stuff comes in. Once the moon starts to change, you know, and this doesn't always happen exactly on a full moon, a new moon, or whatever, but like today that it's a full moon, you know, I realize I start putting together over time, like, oh, I had this interaction with this one person that I knew as an acquaintance, but I was getting to know a little bit deeper. I met with them this one time, this other time, and this last time. And during this week before the full moon, and for some people after the full moon, you think about your interactions, the actions taken between you and them, the energy felt between you and them, and exactly how the energy played out before the full moon and what happened. Did you guys meet? Did you guys interact? Did you guys have a good time? Did anything come up? Did any triggers come up between you and a person? Now, this is like relationship wise, you know what I mean? Like friends, family, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Um, but you think about those things, and usually during a culmination, like a full moon, that's when you really can lock in and be like, oh, like I finally have clarity on this person, you know? I don't think I want to interact with them, you know? I don't think we align very well. I don't think the planet will want me with this person. I know that sounds like what the fuck, but like, you know, like it's true. Like come to think about it, I don't think we mesh very well, and this might just be me being naive, like, oh, I don't think we mesh well because the planet doesn't want us together. But maybe it's just because that person doesn't respect you enough. You know what I mean? That person doesn't like you, you know, and you just have to deal with that straight up, you know. Um, they don't like you and they don't care about you, you know. They don't care enough about you. And so sometimes it's hard to come to those realizations, but you have to come to them and you have to be like, okay, well, you know what? I mean a lot to myself. I value myself, and you know, I am able to do this, that, and the third for myself and for the people that I love who are really in close proximity to me and who I love and who I'm like this with. Those people will be getting my love and I will get my love. Like, you know, I know my worth. And people can only treat you accordingly to, you know, how you treat yourself and what you are willing to accept. And that's just how it's gonna go. In the moment that things tip one way or another, whether you're a man or a woman, as soon as you start compromising, you know, like as soon as you start compromising, you have to think about, how much am I compromising here? How much of myself am I compromising here? Can I go without this person or whatever they're offering me? You know what I mean? You have to think about that. And I think just for me and the way I am, my sovereignty, my independence, and my willingness to deal with my own bullshit and with my personality is more than enough for me to be like, you know what, I'm good on you. I don't need you. If I wanted to need you, I was conscious of that, and I'm like, I want to need this person, you know, or whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever you want a relationship for, um, then you might be willing to compromise more than other people, or you might mold your beliefs or your standards and stuff. But no, really, you should think about what it is that you want in life, and get it. And sometimes it really is all about, you want X, Y, and Z, and you think, well, other people are getting it through A, B, and C, but I know deep down inside that I have path P over here, and it's kind of like, all right, path P, I'm going to leave you here on the side. Let's try A, B, and C. You try A, B, and C for years, for years and years and years, and it's just not working out. You're getting little incentives, you're getting little prizes out of it, but then you realize, I'm not getting any satisfaction from this. Man or woman, I'm not getting any satisfaction. I don't feel fulfilled in my soul by doing this. So then really what that's trying to push you towards is going towards path P, because you know that deep down inside you are capable of path P. So once you finally get yourself out of the way and get A, B, and C, and X, Y, and Z out of the picture completely, and you go straight towards path P with not even like visiting these A, B, and C's, or putting them way in the background, that's when that manifestation starts to come in. Now we're talking about manifestations, but yes, it is. You have a certain goal you want to reach, you have to reach for plan P and just put your all into that, instead of trying to have both things at the same time. Believe that's how manifestation works the best, because you're going to be able to, for me, for example, my goal is to continue to be self-sufficient, um, in a much better way than I am right now, you know what I mean? So self-sufficiency for me is my happiness. And sometimes I feel like, culture and society and stuff can try to push you towards leaning towards, those grounded values and stuff like that, and that is beautiful. There's so much security in that, but there's also not a lot of security in that. So that's just the truth, of the world, and that's a whole other topic I don't want to get into. um but yeah, I don't know, I'm just thinking of a lot of things, and it's a full moon, and I just had a lot on my mind, and I wanted to get it out there just in case other people are feeling like me. um I don't like it when I blabber on about different things in the beginning of the video, and then at the end it's kind of where I'm talking about things that just are flowing into my mind and stuff. But yeah, um but yeah, it's just been a lot of things going on mentally, really, and energetically. like i think I think for me, things move a lot, in the 3D, action wise. A lot of things are happening. The days go on, night and day, time, and stuff like that. But also, it's it more so feels like things move energetically. Like at one point, I'm feeling one vibe, then I'm feeling another vibe. Then I get an epiphany. Then I get, a realization, and I get a cue to act. And sometimes that cue to act can make you feel so, I don't want to say shitty, but it can make you feel so afraid to go towards that P. You know what I mean? I'm calling it a P, but like it can be whatever. Like going towards, let's say you want to get your master's degree in psychology or something. Like you do everything and you say, I'm going to get to that psychology degree, that master's, I'm going to go towards that master's. And instead of going, just, that's the absolute best choice for you. And you're doing everything but doing that. Like, yeah, I'll get to that. Maybe I can find that what I'm looking for, that fulfillment through that you're gonna get all through here. Let's see if I can just get specks of it and then it'll just turn into the whole thing. No, it's not. And that's what I've realized for myself. I mean, about myself, you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm not gonna get that fulfillment until I just go straight for it. Straight for it. And yeah. Oh, I need some water and I need to log off. So I hope you guys are having a good night and that this helped you if you needed it or if you stumbled by it on accident.